Hello, I'm Jasmine Adams.
And I'm Reagan Simmons. Welcome to the last TMN Television show for the semester on Thursday, December 1st. We have many exciting stories for you tonight.
That's right, Reagan. Coming up, we show you highlights from International Week.
And later, stay tuned to see the best news stories from the semester.
These stories and more on TMN Television. You don't want to miss this.
TMN has been continually giving you updates on the establishment of the Take Root Cafe. After months of fundraising and preparing, the Take Root Cafe is now open in Kirksville, and their official grand opening is tomorrow. The cafe is pay what you can, and 1 hour of work at the restaurant equals one free meal. Also, when $8 is donated to the cafe, a meal token is placed on the wall for people to cash in as a free meal. The cafe has a variety of fresh and local foods for customers to choose from.
The 21st Annual Women and Gender Studies Conference will be coming back to Truman next semester. The conference will be held at the end of January with the theme Engendering Social Justice. The conference will take place at the Black Box Theater in Ophelia Parish and will run all day. Faculty and students will be presenting their essays and creative work, and a keynote speaker will give a talk on social justice.
Truman's Vice President for Enrollment Management, Regina Morin, presented Truman's annual enrollment management report at the Board of Governors meeting last month. This year's report shows an overall increase in the number of applications submitted and students enrolled at Truman when compared to 2015. Enrollment has increased for minority students and first-generation college students as well. However, the report showed there has been a decrease in full-time degree-seeking students. Morin says the university is taking steps to adjust to these changes.
After the break, stay tuned for a look at how the Center for International Students is educating the campus.
But first, let's take a look at this week's forecast.
Spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
The college Republicans made a stand against communism this week. TMN reporter Jasmine Adams brings us the story.
Truman State's college Republicans celebrated Freedom Week this Monday through Wednesday by constructing a wall on the quad. This wall represented communism and the Berlin Wall that once divided Germany. Students were encouraged to spray paint the wall with their feelings toward communism. One student, senior Jessica Wooldridge, says she felt her addition to the wall was more than appropriate.
I figured a crying smiley face would be acceptable.
College Republicans President Ben Terrell says the organization intended to remember Republican values with this project.
We wanted to take this time, after the election, after everything's said and done, to kind of go back to our roots, Ronald Reagan era, Berlin Wall, stuff like that.
Terrell also said the wall is both in memory of the many lives lost under communism and to celebrate the freedom we have in the United States.
We're bringing attention to the fact that, roughly 100 million people have died in the pursuit of communism, roughly 10 Holocausts, and people don't really pay attention to that.
The organization tore down the wall yesterday with the help of students passing by on the quad. Terrell says he hopes the organization will repeat the project in coming years. For the Truman Media Network, I'm Jasmine Adams.
Truman State University's Center for International Students held their annual International Education Week. TMN reporter Bria Parnell has the story.
International Education Week took place from November 14th to the 17th. The events of the week welcomed all Truman students to come and learn about the international studies and students at Truman. CIS's student support intern, Lauren Dermody, says the center wanted to give students a chance to be involved in international affairs and learn about the available study abroad opportunities.
I think it just really makes people aware of the international community here at Truman, and it just brings awareness to all the different people that we have from all over the world, and it really puts into it puts it out there that like studying abroad is really fun. Studying abroad is like a great way to broaden your horizons. You get a lot of experience from that, and the students studying here like can teach us a lot too. So I think that's really important.
The first event of the week was an international game night held in the Royal Lounge. The next day was free coffee and tea in Violet Hall. The third event of the week was a dance explosion presentation from members of various international associations on campus as well as the CIS. The last event was a trivia night. The international events were very fun-filled and informative. One student, freshman Stephanie Adile, says she was happy to be there and thought the week was a great way to show off her culture.
It was a great time. It was nice to see everyone happy and see everyone showcase their culture, their dance and everything. It was great. Okay, cool.
The week aimed to bring together students from many different backgrounds to come and enjoy the international food and fun, which they succeeded in doing. The CIS was happy with the turnout this year, but would love to see more students participate in International Education Week next year. For the Truman Media Network, I'm Bria Parnell.
Stay tuned for your Truman Sports Update.
We'll be right back.
I'm not a big fast food fan. It's kind of like iffy because you really don't know what they're really doing back there. I think that's what makes us stand out from other places. We really are picky. We have the all-natural burger. It's grass-fed, no added hormones, no steroids. We're preparing it fresh from step to step. Looks really juicy, like, oh, I want that. Culinary perfection almost. Grass-fed beef is better.
Now try it on the beer cheese bacon burger, only at Hardee's.
As always, your Truman Sports Update is brought to you by Hardee's. The Truman State football team lost their last game of the season to McKendree University on November 12th, making it their only loss in the GLVC Conference. The Bulldogs earned a share of the GLVC Conference title, splitting it with Southwest Baptist University. It is the first conference title for Truman since 1988. 15 players from Truman earned spots on the all-conference teams, the most in 26 years.
The Truman State women's volleyball team won the GLVC championship in a match against McKendree University on November 20th. The Bulldogs swept McKendree in 3 sets to become conference champions for the second time in the GLVC. The team recovered from winning only 3 of their first 14 matches to finish 18 and 16 overall. Truman will face Ferris State University today in Big Rapids, Michigan, as they compete in the quarterfinals of the NCAA Midwest Region Tournament.
We'll be right back after the break with the best stories of the semester.
At the end of the semester, TMN Television looks back at all the news stories we've done and choose what we think is best to reach our audience. We start our best story reel with TMN reporter Jasmine Adams' story about the Scottish Highland Games.
This year, the event had 24 athletes competing from all over the Midwest. Scorekeeper Brenda Bryan says she started out competing in all the events, such as the sheath toss, stone toss, caber toss, and the heavy hammer. Bryan says a few things that make the games unique is their national and international presence and the camaraderie that comes along with participating.
Though the competition is there amongst participants and athletes, we're always encouraging each other and helping a person, if they had a bad throw, figure out, what mistake or how they can correct that so they continue to improve.
The Van Vleck family opened the Jackson Weightlifting Club here in Kirksville in 1928. It has been revamped twice, and today Tom Van Vleck serves as the athletic director. Over the past 16 years, members of the weightlifting club have trained to compete in the Scottish Highland Games.
Well, I got into the Scottish Highland Games in 1994, and when I was younger, I did powerlifting, Olympic lifting, and I did some strongman contests, and then I just happened on the sport and just fell in love with it right away.
The club uses the event's participation fee to raise money for the Scotland Clark Project to support families with medical needs related to childhood illnesses. This year, event participants made donations to the charity and paid for the chance to try a weight from 1851. This weight was created for the Weight Over Bar event, and Van Vleck says he brought this piece of history to Kirksville from Scotland this past summer.
It's almost like getting to play football with play with a football that maybe Dick Butkus had used or Joe Montana. You know, that's kind of how I would equate it in our sport.
Von Vleck says he encourages those interested in the games to research them and to come by the club if they want to train or participate.
Plus you get to wear a kilt. I mean, how great's that, you know?
For the Truman Media Network, I'm Jasmine Adams.
This story definitely was one of the best stories of the semester. TMN reporter Stephanie Best shows us how Sodexo hand-makes bakery items every morning.
Sodexo's bakery, located in the lower level of the Student Union building, provides all baked goods to the dining halls in the Main Street Bakery every day. The bakery consists of a small staff who works from 11 at night to 6 or 7 in the morning the next day. The bakery makes an average of 15 different desserts a day, along with its usual baked goods such as pizza dough, biscuits, and dinner rolls. Almost all products are made by hand, and bakery manager Shelley Schmidt says it is important to make the baked goods by hand in order to know what is going into the product.
It's a unique situation where we get to every day come to work and make people happy by making them fresh donuts are all scratch. You don't find that anymore.
For the Truman Media Network, I'm Stephanie Best.
Out of all the questions on the quads this semester, this episode was our favorite. Reporters Charles Mahood and Matt Ragsdale are here with this best of segment.
Reporting live for TMN TV, I am Matt Ragsdale.
And I'm Charles Mahood.
And today we'll be on the quad asking questions about the election. Scott, as you're well aware, the election is coming up very soon, and we will be deciding our next president in less than a week. Are you registered to vote?
I am.
Why?
Just because, I don't know, most people do it.
That's a good one. I mean, yeah. Usually if people do things, it's a good thing to do it too.
Usually.
Yeah. Are you registered to vote?
I sure am.
Why?
Because I think it's important to have a voice. So, yeah.
That's good.
Are you registered to vote?
Yes.
Why?
Because I want a voice in the political process. And it's a responsibility and a duty as a citizen of the United States.
Have you ever considered being a mute?
A mute?
Yeah, like having a voice and stuff.
I've thought about what it might be like, but I enjoy having my voice, so it's a bad thought.
Are you registered to vote?
I am.
Why?
It's my duty as an American.
Indeed.
If you had to make one president into a vegetable, which one would it be?
This is a tough one. I'd have to say Abraham Lincoln.
You'd want to make Abe Lincoln into a cripple.
No, I meant like broccoli, dude.
Oh, okay. That makes way more sense.
There's two ways to go about that question. You could turn them into broccoli or whatever, or you could turn them into like a cripple.
Oh.
If you could turn any president into a vegetable, which president and why?
I think I'd turn Andrew Jackson into a cauliflower because Andrew Jackson forced all the Native Americans off their land and just really sucks. And cauliflowers get eaten by worms a lot.
If you had to go on a canoeing trip with one president ever, who would it be?
Ronald Reagan.
Why?
He's an Eagle Scout.
Good answer.
You know, it might start with George Washington. He'd probably have a good idea, be able to kind of give us an idea of where we were going as a nation, kind of.
He could just kind of lead you, on your canoeing trip. He could just stand at the tip of the boat and point to where you need to go.
Yeah, I think there's a painting of that, isn't that?
Oh, really?
It'd probably be Teddy Roosevelt.
Why's that?
He's a man of the environment. He got the national park system. I just feel like he'd be a rip snorting good time. As you would probably say.
I would probably say that.
Will you be running for election anytime soon?
I've thought about it a lot. Maybe in like a year or two. I'll change some laws, make it to where people under 35 can become president. Yeah.
Will you be running for president anytime soon?
Probably not.
Why?
One, I'm not of age, and two, I don't think I'm very electable.
I think you're pretty delectable. Will you be running for president anytime soon?
No, I'm half Mexican, so it's a no-go.
If Kanye West decides to run in 2020, will you be voting for him?
I don't know. It depends on like who else is going up against him, and you know, maybe if it's like, I don't know, another pop star, maybe Drake. Like it's gonna be a hard.
What if Kanye and Drake were running on the same ticket? Do you think that would?
It's gonna be hard to beat. Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if you've heard, but Kanye has said that he will be running in 2020. Do you think that you would vote for him?
I don't know. I just think he's a gold digger.
Yeah, I would say that he might be stronger than a few candidates. Getting into some serious questions here. What is your best presidential impression?
I guess recently Obama has been doing the "Come on, man."
Well, hello, America. My name is George W. Bush. I just choked on a pretzel.
That was beautiful.
After the break, we will get to have a personal segment where the seniors get to say goodbye.
We'll be right back.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia? Let's do it. What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
We have a problem.
An epidemic.
It's infectious.
Like a disease, spreading to every university across the country.
It affects every community.
Every campus.
Every student.
It can leave its victims feeling hopeless.
Confused.
Scared.
Alone.
Approximately 95% of these cases go unreported.
It's time to get serious about ending sexual assault.
Be the one to start the conversation.
Be the one to report a sexual assault.
Be the one to know you are not alone.
1 in 5 women.
1 in 16 men are affected by sexual assault in college.
Be the one to support those affected.
Be the one to ask if they're all right.
Be the one to ask for help.
Truman provides confidential and non-confidential resources to anyone impacted by sexual assault.
Be the one to say no.
Be the one to intervene when consent hasn't been given.
When consent can't be given.
Be the one to not blame the victim.
Be the one to get your friends home safe. Be the one to tell them they've had too much to drink.
Be the one to survive, to thrive.
To advocate. Be the one to cultivate a culture of respect.
Of bravery.
Of responsibility.
Of dignity.
Of courage.
Of accountability.
Of honesty.
Of trust. Of hope.
Be the one to pursue a safer campus.
Be the one to stop sexual assault.
This is TMN TV's last show of the semester and Reagan and I's last show of our college career. We just wanted to share some last thoughts and thank TMN for the experiences we had. So Reagan, what is your favorite TMN memory?
I guess if I had to describe my favorite memory, Jasmine, it'd probably be a couple years ago when I was doing a question on the quad segment with Josh. For those of you who might remember Josh, you probably remember Josh. And in that particular segment, I was wearing a very tight pink bro tank for the segment as part of the green screen technique that we had. And so we had a lot of fun with that, a lot of laughs, very, very late night editing it and stuff, but that was probably my favorite memory though. But what about yours?
Mine is kind of similar. It's more general though. Mine is any time that I've been here late with my TMN coworkers because I feel like those are the times when we bond the best. Those are the time when we make the silliest memories and have the most fun. So that's probably my favorite memory.
Sounds like we both had an enjoyable time here at TMN. All right, and that brings us to the end of our broadcast. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. For complete news coverage, be sure to stay tuned to KTRM and pick up a copy of the Index. Also, check out our news content on tmn.truman.edu.
You can also follow TMN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for breaking news updates. And if you missed part of tonight's broadcast, check out TMN TV on YouTube. From all of us at TMN, thank you for tuning in, good luck on finals, and have a great winter break.